guys, hello my loves, marhaba habibati. So today I am going to do like a foundation routine, kind of. I don't think I've posted, I'm gonna take my glasses off in a second, but my eyes are tired, so I'm gonna give them a minute to have some of the glassesness stop. People, they've been quiet for like an hour and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get ready and start filming, and then we're just gonna plow through. So way back when, like one of my first videos I ever uploaded was like my face makeup routine or something random like that. And the reason I put that up was because I don't really do very much differently. Like the reason I usually in like my get ready with me or my tutorials I only do my eyes is because the rest of my face I sort of do the same way every time. And so I had posted that video like well over a year ago to show like what I did. But a couple of you have been asking some questions recently about sort of getting into foundation and any tips and application and that kind of good stuff. So I was just gonna sit down and do like my face makeup, like my foundation, not my face makeup. Anyways, I'm gonna sit down and do my face today and walk you through sort of some tips and tricks and thoughts and all that kind of good stuff. It's gonna be a rambly video. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's just get into it. I'm gonna take these guys off and get started. So I rarely ever don't wear primer. So the two that I like or have been reaching for the most recently is my Illamasqua Hydra Veil and then my Dior Pore Minimizing Primer. I have reviews on both of these that I'll link down below. The other primer that I really like is the one by Hourglass, their Mineral Veil primer. I just have like a priming base by Chantecaille that I'm trying to get myself to use up. My chief face. Today is just the day for filming. That I'm trying to get myself to use up before I buy. But I'm gonna go with the Illamasqua today and I'll tell you as I'm applying why. So I find that when in the morning I'm trying to decide which primer to use, there are like two sets of questions I'll ask myself. The first is what does my skin need, and the second will be what does the foundation I want to wear need, sort of, so to speak. So today, for the past couple days, this is the skin base, right? So I just put it on the back of my hand, and then I've washed my hands so I can use my fingers. I just have a little brush that I'll show you guys in a second. That I use it with as well. So I asked myself what my skin needs and then what the foundation needs. So my skin, as you can tell, is not very happy with me at all. It has been really dehydrated and angry and red, and so today when I sat down I was like, and over the past couple days when I've sat down to do my makeup, it's been about what does my skin need more than what foundation am I going to use. So by using a hydrating primer, I really like this one. It just helps give my face that added layer of hydration and calmness. The brush that I was going to tell you I got carried away talking and didn't use it is this little guy by Sephora. It's their 45.5 brush. Sometimes I feel like using a brush for my primer, and this is the guy I reach for. Okay, so with the primer on, I'm gonna go for my foundation. This guy is a hydrating primer, so you want it all over your face. That's why I put it all over the place. If I use something like a pore filling primer, which I'm not a huge fan of at the moment, but if I were to use something like that, or even when I use my mattifying primer, I won't necessarily put this all over my face. With something like a mattifying and pore minimizing, I would tend to focus it on the areas that need it, just because I don't want extra product gunking up my skin, or you know what I mean? Like if it doesn't need to be there, then it doesn't have to be. So those are just different ways that I use primer. Okay, this is going to be an interesting video. The foundation I'm going to use today, I thought for consistency's sake, I'm going to use my Illamasqua Skin Base. Love, 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 love this foundation. I have a review on this one that I'll hopefully link down below. I say hopefully because sometimes I can't find these videos. And I know I filmed them, or I'm losing my mind. What I love about the Illamasqua foundation is that, especially if you're new or like getting into foundations, it's nice because it can be worn pretty sheerly, but it can also be built up to have a more medium to full coverage as well. So you can do that. My favorite brushes at the moment, I've gone through my ebbs and flows. I had the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, which I really liked. The Marc Jacobs Face 2 brush. I have a review on the Marc Jacobs brush that I'll link down below. I tried the Beauty Blender. can't remember if I filmed a video on that one though. I've gone through sort of different relationships. I've fallen in and out of love with different things. The two brushes that I find myself reaching for currently are these two. So this one is the Tarte, I think it's just their Air Bouquet foundation, liquid foundation brush. It just has special edition packaging, but it's available in their permanent line. And then this is the F82, right, by Sigma. People talk about the flat top. This one is the round top kabuki. So I really like it because I find that it's very similar. If you can't get Sigma, it's very similar to the Expert Face Brush by Real Technique. So I like how it can sort of get everywhere, and it just, for anyone that wears makeup, you guys know this, there are things that you just get used to and there are things you're comfortable with. I could probably get a similar effect out of another brush, but this just fits well in my hand. I like how dense it is. So this is one I'll use on my thicker foundation, so like my BECCA foundation, or if I'm using my stick foundation, my Tom Ford one, I need something that dense to really work it in. That works with all of my foundations, as liquid or as thick as they are, but I prefer to use that with ones I really need to work in. This one I love because it's so huge. So with any of my more traditional liquid foundations, so the one I'm using today, the Rimmel one that I reviewed, all the other ones that I have, I like using this one because it's just fast and it's efficient and I can get it done that way. I used to like dot, I'm just gonna start putting makeup on my face. I used to dot it on my face and then blend it out, and I found that it was starting to set. Like I'd take it and dot it all over my face instead of putting it on my hand. And I found that it was setting on one side of my face by the time I got to it. So I'd blend out this side and then I'd get here and this, it would take me longer to blend. So I found that I've really been enjoying just dipping my brush into it and then blending it onto my skin, basically. Someone else asked my thoughts on the Beauty Blender and all that kind of jazz. I don't think I filmed a video, which is probably why it would be a good idea for me to mention it here. I had a Beauty Blender. I used it for a little while, and I think I ended up passing it along to like my cousin or something before I moved. I break out easily, as you can tell. And so I need to be constantly cleaning anything that I'm using, like any brush I'm using on my face. And so with the Beauty Blender, you can't spot clean a Beauty Blender. You have to just go in and deep clean it if you're going to clean it. And so I found myself having to deep clean my Beauty Blender after every use. And if I left it, like if I did my makeup in the morning and I left it till the afternoon, it was like, anyways, basically for me, I like the effect I could get out of the Beauty Blender, but the maintenance of keeping it clean and hygienic for my skin just got to be too much. And the fact that you have to replace it it's less than a year, I think. They recommend sort of 3 to 4 months. Putting that much money down every couple months just, again, wasn't something I was super keen on. So the first factor and the biggest detractor was the hygiene reason. So that's why I personally prefer brushes. I also like the way the brush fits in my hand. So breaking out on my face is something new to me, and so when I first started breaking out like that, I thought I'd have to like apply additional layers of foundation onto my face and in order to cover it with the foundation solely, and I found myself ending up with a lot of really cakiness on my face. So what I've been enjoying doing more than that is to go in after I've done just an initial layer and then go in with some concealer. So my two favorite concealers are the Studio Fix by MAC and the NARS Concealer Stick. I have them in different shades because I have like this one in a darker shade to match my darker foundations, this one in a lighter shade to match my light foundations. I find that in terms of formula, for me, they wear the same. So I take this Real Techniques Dome Shadow Brush, and I find it works really well. And then I'll go in just to those areas that need that extra coverage and cover them up. So I've got some blemishes poking through, and then I just sort of dab it on to where the blemish is, and then blend around. You don't want to blend the whole thing because you've just blended what you've put down as color. But yeah, I just tend to go back in and do that in all the areas on my face that needs some extra coverage. So I don't necessarily need a whole highlighting, contouring thing on a daily basis, but what I do still like to do is I do every day that I put foundation on, I do like to highlight underneath my eyes. I just find that it adds a luminosity to them. I don't have horrible dark circles, but enough that I just like that added touch of color. So this is, you're gonna be like, why is this happening? My Maybelline Age Rewind from the drugstore, it's like a brightening concealer. The thing broke, so I emptied it into this little pot, but I like to take it. Can you guys hear that music? Like, it feels like it's inside my room. There's a school that's like 2 blocks away, and I don't know why it always sounds so loud. Anyways, so I like to take it with my brush from the Balm, which is dirty because I used it yesterday. And I'll show you what I do. I think Trish McAvoy calls it the what? The Triangle of Light or something. I went to like her class one time when they were having an event, and that's what they tried to call it. I think something light. Someone who's read any Trisha's books would know. But I just take it in that like triangle formation underneath my eye and I blend it in. And I like this brush because it's nice and tapered and you can blend away. So you can get like right into that little area of your face. I know Sigma also makes one. A lot of different brands make them. I just happened to pick this one up. Where was I? I think I was in Vegas and I ran across the the Balm stand at a Walgreens and I was like, ooh, I haven't ever gotten to like shop the full collection. So yeah. The one thing that I will say though with using, you could use like a lighter concealer, you can use these guys from Maybelline, like the Hydra wines, you can use any kind of product as long as it's like 1 to 2 shades darker, lighter from the shade you use on your face. I will say though, be careful not to apply too much because it will crease and cake really quickly, especially underneath your eyes. A lot of people really love using the Beauty Blender for this step because it will take away, like it won't let you apply too much, sort of it'll help you absorb some of that extra product. But if you are using a brush, just make sure to build. Like if you feel like you've gotten in and there's not enough, you can always add more, but it's harder to remove excess product if you put too much on. Okay, so the final thing that I do before letting my skin breathe for a minute is I'll just go ahead and apply some powder. I'd like to do it for my under eyes right away. So this is the Chantecaille HD powder and this is the NARS 41 brush it looks like. I like to apply it on my eyes right away because otherwise I find that they crease too quickly. So if I set them right after I've put whatever it is underneath them, it doesn't make it so that they don't crease, but it helps them crease a little bit less. You guys know how many facial expressions I make, so yeah, it's just gonna crease. And then the trick that I really like that I learned from a friend of mine who's a makeup artist is if you dab and you go against, you know what I mean, like just this way, not this way out, like against, then it will help sort of set it a little bit better than if you were to go the other way around. Again, nothing is going to stop it from creasing completely. I'm actually worried on days it doesn't crease. I'm like, I didn't have enough like facial expressions. Today was not enough of a kick-ass day. But yeah, it helps prevent it from creasing a little bit. So what I tend to do, because I'd found that if I did everything, including like my bronzer and my highlight and blush, everything right away, I would find that everything would start to rub off. So what I usually do at this point is I'll let my face breathe for a minute, I'll do my eyes, and then I'll come back to my face to do bronzer, blush, and highlighter. So yeah, this started my face foundation routine type dealio. I'll probably come back, I will come back, with everything on my face, you know, lipstick, eyeshadow, lashes, all that kind of good stuff, to do some points of positivity. But yeah, this was my little rambly foundation application-ness. Cool. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so as promised, I told you guys I'd come back for check-in. I am playing with these claws. If you saw Friday's video, then you know all about these, and if not, I will link it down below. So this is the finished look. The tutorial, if you want to see it on this eye look, will go up on Thursday. Points positivity. I feel so like cool. My first point of positivity is these claws. As soon as I put them on, it's like the lashes. I feel so much fiercer. I will leave the Etsy store where I picked these up down in the description box. And definitely check them out. I talk about the whole story, but basically I do have a coupon code that I'm no way affiliated with any way, shape, like I don't get any money, I don't get any points, I don't get anything. I just like these so much, and I got a discount code so that I can share, that I will put down below for $5 off your order. But yeah, these are definitely the first things making me feel really fierce and fun and happy. this afternoon's. The second thing making me smile is listening to more Harry Potter, the audiobooks. So I finished the first audiobook last week and I'm on the second one. I'm almost done the second one. It's just making me really happy. Even when it rained this week, I wasn't upset because I was listening to Harry Potter. It was great. And then my third point of positivity is I got to chat with my bestie for a little while. This morning, yeah, it was this morning. I'm losing, like, my sense of how long a day is has just gone out the wayside. So yeah, I got to do that this morning and it brought me a lot of sunshine. I hope whatever it is that you guys are up to or will be up to later today is amazing. I want to send you guys tons of love. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, I can never leave you without reminding you that life is just too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye guys.